Hey everyone, welcome back. I am super excited to be here. We have a couple of things going on. In today's video, we're going to take a look about how to slice up really big prints using Bamboo Studio, so that way you're able to print really big things like a full-sized helmet on a moderately sized printer, like a Bamboo X1 Carbon or P1P. Stick around. Now there's a handful of reasons that you might want to break apart a file in Bamboo Slicer or Bamboo Studio, so that way you can print it in segments on a machine like your P1P or any other machine that you have added into Bamboo Studio. One is maybe it's just overall too large to print in the build volume that you're working with. A second would be maybe there are some overhangs, and by slicing and gluing you can actually mitigate some support material that you have to use. And then the third is maybe you're low on a particular filament, or you just need a specific piece off of a print. No matter what your reason is, this is actually really easy to set up. Now, this feature is one that was first announced, to my knowledge, by Prusa, and is going to be in the upcoming Prusa Slicer 2.6 release. Currently, they're on a beta revision, which is available to download, but it is fully ready to go in Bamboo Studio, and it's really, really easy to work and do what you need to do. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to slice up a model by Triple G Workshop, and it is going to be Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. It's a two-piece design by default, and should be able to be scaled to fit your printer without issue. But if it's not, so say we open the hammerhead. Now that does take up most of my print bed. It's not a huge deal, but let's say I want to maybe overcome having to use supports here. The other option would be to flip the model to where we're printing on this top surface, and then we have these two smaller bridges, and there'd be a bridge inside. Now you wouldn't see that one, but maybe these two are a concern. Whatever the reason is, you can slice the model up and kind of reorient it. So to do that, click on your model to highlight it, and we have a cut feature. Now, there's a really good chance that you have seen this cut feature before on Prusa Slicer or some other slicers that have this built in. Actually being able to cut a model into pieces is not anything super new. So I just did an arbitrary cut. Now I have two pieces. We auto arrange it. It would print in two build plates. And we would have these two flat surfaces like we see. I'll try to make this a little easier for you to see here. So we would have these perfectly flat surfaces, which means there are no indexing points. So you would have to use something to really try to get that smoothed up or shirred up to make sure that it glues together smoothly. But what's really cool, we're just going to delete and reopen our file here. To work on getting our model chopped up into segments and make it easier to print, all we have to do is just click on the model, and then we come up here and we click on this cut option, or you can hit C on your keyboard as a hotkey. This brings us to where we can actually adjust the plane of cut. For the sake of keeping everything nice and easy, I'm actually just going to leave it on default and cut along the kind of Y-axis here. And we'll use this nice add connectors button. So there are a few options that we have in this screen and some sliders to adjust. We're going to start by looking at plugs, and we have two styles. We have frustum and we have prism. So if we select a frustum, if we select frustum first, we then have the option to change our shape for what we want our part to be. Now, what a plug will be is one half of the model will have a protrusion sticking out of it, and the other half will have a receiving hole. which is awesome for quick and easy indexing. So if we just click on the model, I'm going to click near a corner. What you can see happened is this frustum style gave us a cone. And you can modify the parameters of this cone by adjusting your size and your depth ratio. That is going to adjust the height and diameter. And if you change the shape that you're working with, now we have a pyramid. And if we change to a hexagon, we have a hexamid. I don't know. We have a shape. And then circle is going to take us back to cone. We have another form of pyramid with a triangle. So that is what the frustum style does. And then you can see your connector here. And if you highlight it, you can click and drag and move it wherever you want it to be. You also have the ability to tweak your tolerances on size and the depth. The default is around 10%. Now if we change this to the prism style, that is going to be straight walled. And that gives us a more blocky shape. So it's not going to really self-seat parts. So we're going to leave that one as a prism. We're going to click right here to add a new one. We'll throw a frustum cone on there just so we can see the different styles. And I am doing these probably quite a bit bigger than I would in reality, just to aid with the visual. Now, what's really cool is the other style that we have is dowel. And the same basic principle is going to apply on dowel. The only difference is going to be you can't change the style on dowel because these will actually print a dowel rod. So we're going to do a hexagon dowel right there, and then right here we're going to do a triangular dowel because triangles are cool. So if you're happy with your placement, then you can hit confirm connectors. And we will then make sure that we are keeping all of our parts, and we hit perform cut. So we auto arrange everything. So auto arrange didn't really give us much help. So make sure you don't have all of the files selected. So what we're looking at now is right here and right here are going to be the two plug cuts. This is the frustum cone and this is the prism cylinder. And those line up over here on the other side. Both of them are going to line up in the circular holes, or the square hole, if you will. They line up here and here. Now, what's really interesting is there are two new bodies of geometry that have been added to the print bed. And these are going to be the two dowels that we have added. So what's really cool is if you actually have dowel rods of a known size, you could actually set these plugs to use the dowel rod, and then instead of printing them, you could actually use the wooden dowel. Or in this case, you can print these. So these each have an indexing point. So like when the model's printed, we actually hit slice really quickly. You can see this is kind of what this one mating surface would look like. And if we go over here, we'll hit slice on this one. This is kind of what we're working with. So it's really rad. You can see the cone shape here, the cylinder shape here, our handle threads, and that is really cool. Now, you can use this utility in place of Mesh Mixer. So there you go, guys. That's a quick look at how to set everything up and chop up your models to save on support material. maybe make large objects printable on your Bamboo printers. Now, keep in mind, again, this feature was originally for Prusa Slicer and will be coming to Prusa Slicer soon. Very excited for that. But you can start using it now by either checking it out in Bamboo Studio or by downloading the beta release of Prusa Slicer 2.6. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Thanks and have a great day.